Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This video is the continuation of our last video in which we saw how to plot or how to analyze Google Analytics users data. So just to recap, what we did was we already import data from Google Analytics, and in that we have users data. Then we did some EDA in which we convert a date column into date time type. Then we tune some of the values in different columns like data source, browser, and city columns, and remove the not set and integer values into a proper form like not defined incorrect value so that it can make sense. After that, we plot and we saw how to plot multi bar chart of each company and see the user's trend on year wise, by year wise, month wise, and day wise. We also saw the browsing, how's the browser usage of each users versus non new users. And then we also saw how to analyze a specific company and how to plot its specific statistics like the specific company browser data, the specific company users data by year, by month, and by day, and then what were the users count and from where those users were coming, and as well as what was the usage new users city count. So these were some of the statistics which we saw earlier. Now in this video, we will be plotting all these statistics on Streamlit app. Streamlit is a Python library which we will be using, and then we will plot all those graphs onto Streamlit app so that it can all make sense and we have a general report for each company. So without wasting any time, let's get started. For building the web application in Python using Streamlit library, we will be using Visual Studio Code. Now I have already listed down the important code which I extracted from that notebook which we did and implement in our last video. And here I have defined some of the libraries and then the file path, and then I'm reading that path, and then I'm converting the specific date column into the date time type, and then for browser data source and city columns I am replacing some of the values, and then I'm just checking the whether if there are any duplicates, remove it, and then just print the head. So let's run it and see whether it's working or not. So it is working and it's giving us the first 5 rows with date time converted, and as well as replacing the values which we want from city, browser, and data source column. Moving on, we will comment it out the print statement because we will be using Streamlit app from now on. And to run the application on Streamlit using Streamlit library, you need to use Streamlit run and then your Python script. And before that, you can easily install by pip install Streamlit, and it will install this library on your laptop computer. Now the first part here is that I have created different versions for your better understanding. And in this version, first of all, I am parsing the date into year, month, day, just to get all the year, month, date, day user input. And on the basis of that, we will filter our data. Then I'm using ST. ST stand for Streamlit. This is a short form, so I'll be just mentioning the title of my app as company users graph. And then what I'm doing is that I am creating a sidebar select box or a drop down, you can say, where I have plot each of the year, month, and day values. You will see when I run this application or a script. So same goes for a month and day filter. I'm creating a sidebar in which I will have 3 different filters one for year, one for month, and one for day. That filters will be showing the year unique values, month unique values, and day unique values. Based on the user input and user selections, I'll be filtering data using this condition. And what it's doing is that it's going into user data frame, and in that year column, I'm selecting that specific year which my user gave as input. Same goes for a month and same goes for day. After that, it's selecting all the data from this data frame using this condition and displaying the data onto our app using st.write filter data. This will plot the table, and then we are just using our bar graph which we did our exercise in our last video, and plotting this filter data, and it will have multi bars for users and new users on y-axis, and on x-axis we will be seeing year. And st.plotly chart is used to plot some graph, or you can say figure. So let's run it out and see what we get. So this is the result which we got from users input, and what it's showing is that it's showing the year 2020 for the month 7 and for 13 day, which means 13 July 2020, and it's showing in form of table as well as specific year users versus new users bar chart. And this is just a comment, so don't worry about this. We will just remove this thing. But for now, uh, if I select 2021 and then 9 month, and the day will remain same for 13, so it will show you 2021 September month and 13 day for company A data and for all the companies, and showing the users and new users count in bar chart. So through this input from users, we are showing in the data in form of table as well as in form of multi-bars chart which have users versus new users count. Till now, what we saw was how to filter data and how to show that data using filters selected by the users. Now, what we want is that we need to wait for all the users input and then generate the report. So to do that, we are creating a new filter called company filter to choose the company as well, and with year, month, and day filters. And then we are creating st.sidebar button. This will create a button after all the filters, and as soon as it will click this, the user will click this generate report button, then it will create the condition using the choosing filters of users. By default, we are showing company A data, but users can select all the companies and all the year and play around with it. And then we are showing st.write and st.bar chart, or sorry, st.plotly chart to show the bar chart. So now we are not seeing anything on our main page because we haven't click on the generate report button. As soon as I click on generate report button, it will show me the table and as well as bar chart of this company on these dates. We can select different year and different month and different day for this client and generate, and as soon as we generate report, it will show us a bar chart on the showing only that data of that company for only those dates which the user wanted to see. So in this version, we update our report and we are waiting for users input, as well as when users click on generate report, it will show you the report. Now let's see the next version. In this part of the code, we are adding some more charts like browsing data, and we are also displaying the top 10 cities by users count as well as displaying the top 10 cities by new users count. So from where the users are coming and from which cities the new users are coming for that company for that specific days and month, we can see in this version of the code. Now let's save it and see the output. Here we are getting browsers count as well as top 10 cities as well as top 10 cities from where most new users came in. We can update this thing and click on generate report, and it will show us for 2020 year, fourth month, and first day. Since there is no data on that day, we can change the day or month, and it will show you the browsers count, the top 10 cities, and as well as the top 10 cities of from where the most new users came in. We can update the width of this table by selecting this thing and just dragging it to right side to see all the cities and see the count of users and new users as well. In the final version of the code, what we are doing is that we are adding some more filters as checkbox to see whether a user wants to see all the data or specific data. So we are taking input for that. And for that, we are creating a checkbox to ask users whether they want to see the data for all years or for all months or for all days. And based on that, if a user check on that box, it will go into this condition and it will not take input from Slack year or Slack month if that box is checked. Otherwise, it will take input in year filter, month filter, and day filter respectively. And after that, it will take the input for company, and then it will create or generate report based on the user's selection criteria. First, it will go and select the company data, and based on that, if a users want to see the specific year, it will get the specific year. It will if a user wants to see all the months or specific month, it will check for this condition, and same goes for day. If show all days is not true, this is simply means by this code. And after these conditions, we are plotting our graph using st.plotly chart on Streamlit app and showing browsers count as well as top 10 cities and top 10 cities for users and new users from where they come. Now let's check the output of it. This is the output of what we have built in our Python script. We are taking as input for all the checkboxes whether a users want to see all the years data or all months, and then based on that we are generating the report. We are first seeing the response of default values, and this is the response of it. And now let's check on show data for all years. As soon as I click on this, the selection for year filter will be removed. And if I click on that generate report button, it will show me for each year. Now let's check on month as well and generate report. Now this is the different count because we are now adding for all months and for all years as well. So that's why it's showing a different bars what we saw in our years or for all years data. So this is how you can play around with Streamlit library of Python and plot anything what you want. And here we have created a report for Google Analytics users data in which we can see the trend for each year, browsers count, as well as the top 10 cities from where our users are coming in. And based on that, we can make our own decisions out of it. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any queries, Do let me know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care. Have a good day.